Hello.
Hi. Oh, hi.
I'm so excited. Today we have Bardha, okay, from Love is Blind UK. And we actually met a week ago. But
Yes.
I'm a huge Love is Blind fan. So I would say about 2 weeks ago, I was watching Love is Blind UK with my husband Robin. And then you came in. And you came in fairly not at the end, but like
Quite late. Yeah.
yes, quite late. And then you came in and you started talking, and I was like, oh my god, she's so beautiful,
Thank you.
so nice. Like I don't know, there's something about you. And then at the reunion, you had a switch.
I did.
I was like, oh my god, who is this woman? Like you were like, I don't give a. I'm gonna show you. I am mad and this and that. And then you were actually Robin and mine's favorite of the show, and I was like, oh my
Aw.
god, she's such a beautiful person. And then at the reunion, you said, well, you moved to Dubai.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my god, we have the event. I don't know if she's gonna see my message. Yes, I DM'd her. And then you got back to me, and I was so excited. Like I was so excited to meet you. Then we met at the event about a week ago, and you're literally that person that I saw on TV.
Oh, thank you.
Nothing was different about you. It was like literally her.
Yeah.
And you were welcoming. Everyone loved you. Everyone knew you. And I was like, oh my God, that's so amazing. So, yeah, come in.
Hello. Good
Hello.
afternoon. How are you?
Hi.
Good, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Welcome from Mokha 1450. So, would you like to order anything or?
Do you do tea?
Yes, we do.
Oh, she's not a coffee drinker.
I don't drink coffee.
Yes.
I'll have an English breakfast tea with milk and sugar, please.
Sure, sure.
Oh, that's
And
so
also,
English, huh?
would you like to
Yeah.
eat? Would you like to eat anything? We have croissant, pastry, cookies, cake.
After, I mean, I'm good for after. I don't know if
Yes.
you
I
want.
would love some cake after.
Yes?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Okay, sure, no worries.
Can
And
I
for you?
get, Dia, what was that thing that she talked, gin tonic?
Yeah.
Yeah, the gin and tonic.
Gin and tonic.
Yes.
Of course, sure.
Don't worry, guys, it's no alcohol. Yes. Thank you so
Okay,
much.
sure.
Thank
No
you.
worries. I will be right back.
Thank you.
Thank
Yeah, so everyone knew who you were at the event. Everyone was very excited to meet you. They all came to me. They messaged me afterwards.
Aw,
Yeah. They were like,
that's
oh
so
my God,
cute.
she's so pretty. She's so sweet. I was like, I know. It was incredible. So let's go back to which I'm very interested. I grew up in Switzerland. I grew up with a lot of people from Albania, Kosovo, and they have a very similar mindset to like Middle Eastern, I would
Yes.
say.
Yeah.
Very conservative, I want to know, first of all, tell me a little bit how you grew up and just your background a little bit.
So my family migrated to the UK. We were actually refugees. We ran away from a war which was going on between Kosovo and Serbia. So my family moved there when I was about 5, potentially 6 years old. I was very young, so I can't remember. And yeah, I grew up in, quite I suppose a poor background. As refugees,
Right.
we didn't have anything. We were supported by the councils and all the the benefit system in the UK. So I'm very grateful for my upbringing. My parents worked, well, my mum's never worked, but my dad worked really, really hard to look after us, going out in a different country, not speaking the language, and just doing his best to provide for us whilst myself and my brothers went to school and kind of grew up between two cultures.
Right.
So my family raised me Muslim. Later on, I think after I turned 18, I was like, oh, maybe I'm not quite religious. So I very much respect it, and my family still very much are. I think I was just so intrigued with the culture and the differences that I was being raised in.
Right.
And yeah, I left home when I was 19, and kind of have always worked for myself, for my family, helping them along the way. And yeah.
How
we
was
are.
that? How was that for you? Because I grew up as a refugee kid, And for me, it was very, very difficult because, I was the brown girl.
Yeah.
And how was that for you? Like, did you feel like, did people make you feel like you don't belong here? Did you feel any racism? Like, how was that for you?
I wouldn't say so much racism. I would say it was more that I didn't belong.
Right.
So like my friends would have their, friendship circles, and I guess because of my language barrier, I couldn't join in. I couldn't go to their parties because I'd be sat alone in the corner. I wouldn't know what to say,
Right.
how to communicate with them. My parents didn't speak English either, so they couldn't take me to these events because they didn't know how to get around. They didn't understand what was going on. Back home, birthday parties were basically your family,
Right.
your cousins, and we've got really big families. So that's how you celebrated. Whereas here at school, it was like, we don't know where they live. We don't know if you'll be safe. So I didn't get to partake in a lot of that. And then equally when I grew up a little bit and I was in my teenage years and I'd learnt the language and I'd adapted to being in the UK, when I'd go back to Kosovo, I then didn't belong there either because I was too westernized. And, they would be able to tell because I had a slightly different accent, and it was just, I was a bit of a nomad. There was
Right.
nowhere that I could really call home.
Right. Because do you think, because on the show, I believe you said that you're a very independent woman. Do you feel like that came because of, you were thrown in a new country, new language, new culture? Like, where do you feel like that is coming from? Where you're like, you know what, I will take care of myself.
I feel like it's a survival instinct.
Ooh.
It's more like,
Mm.
if I don't look after myself, who will? And it's kind of like my way of making sure that I'm always okay, because I'm the only one that I can really rely on. Obviously, my family, of course, I can always rely on them. But in terms of, I suppose, partnerships, relationships, I've been engaged prior to the show as well. And I think having let my guard down a little bit and, welcomed someone in and felt safe enough to do so, and then have that strip away, I just never wanted to be in a position where I couldn't look after myself. So being, strong and independent has always been a survival skill, which is quite harsh to say, but, in today's dating world, you have to look out for yourself. And
Right.
yeah, I think that's where that comes from.
So you said that you were engaged before. What happened?
He was unfaithful
Hmm.
a few months after the engagement, which was quite a difficult time for me. We'd picked out our wedding venue, I'd picked out my dress, asked my bridesmaids and maid of honor, and I was ready. I was so set and secure on this person that when it all sort of came out, my world just came crumbling down. And I had to work really hard at picking myself back up. And I think part of that survival mode is being independent, having my own money, being able to look after myself. And if I need to, remove myself from a situation, I can do that. So I think that's where that comes from.
I just know with the okay, so what's very interesting, my friends who are from Albania, Kosovo, what I notice with them is they, for example, marry either someone from Albania, someone from Kosovo, and then they family, like for example, the girl lives with the husband and his family.
And his family, yeah.
They're like very close. They're very like in the Albanian Kosovo, community,
Yeah,
very
yeah,
tight.
yeah.
And I would say, I don't know how it is now, but that was like 20 years ago. So it was
still kind of.
It still is, right?
Yeah.
So was your ex-fiance also from Kosovo, or was he?
No.
No.
So I've temporarily dated some Kosovan/Albanians, just to sort of give it a try, mainly for my family's sake. Being surrounded by Kosovan and Albanian men, it was difficult for me to see a future with them, just because it felt like they're very much babied by their mums. They are mummy's boys. They are, you know, fed with a silver spoon, whilst, you know, the girls were, you know, taught you have to cook, you have to clean, you have to be almost the servant in the family. And I knew from quite an early age that I didn't want that sort of future for myself. And just seeing like how some of my friends were treated by their partners was eye-opening for me, because I didn't see that in my community. I didn't see the men helping their wives. You know, their partners would get pregnant and they'd be like, well, that's her job. And I was like, well, I want a present, you know, father for my child. I want you to help me out. I don't want to do this on my own. I shouldn't have to. So I dated outside of the culture quite, I suppose, pretty much from the beginning. My parents weren't too thrilled with that, and it took a while for them to come around. But ultimately, as an adult, they have one option. They either accept me as I am and keep me in their lives, or they don't accept that and lose a daughter. And luckily, they were very open to keeping me around.
That's beautiful, because I know it's so funny you're saying this, because I grew up in Switzerland, but my background is from Iran, and I would say the same thing you're saying now.
Yeah.
I would always say to my parents, I was like, I would never know, nothing against you know, Persian men, but that's just what I saw.
Yeah.
I would say I would never marry a Muslim man or a Persian man. I was like, I was so westernized as well. Where I was like, yes, at home I am Persian, outside I am Swiss. It just doesn't match. Like my mentality changed too much for me to be dating a Persian man or an Arab man, or in general a Muslim man.
And were your family open to that, or was it quite a difficult transition?
I think my dad honestly came to a point where he's like, I just hope that someone will marry my daughter.
I think that's where my dad's at right now.
He's like, I don't care where he's from, as long as it's a dude who's marrying my daughter. And I think he always says that to Robin till this day. Like, he's like, and then he asks him, like, how can you be with her? Like, I'm a very tough person to be around.
My brothers have asked my exes the same question.
Yeah, my brother too.
Can you? Yeah.
Yeah, my brother's the same thing. And Robin has like soon like very gray hair, and every time he's like, it's Lyda, right? That's to a wife. You're welcome. So, but no, my parents were, because I was a very like I was a rebel growing up.
Yeah. See, I wasn't.
No, but I don't see that in you
at all. Yeah. I didn't want to hurt my family. I didn't want to upset them, because they relied so heavily on me to come through and do well at school and represent them.
Right.
So I just, even when I left home, I was like, I can't go dating like crazy. What if someone sees me and it gets back to my family? And I don't want them to think that I'm, you know, embarrassing them. So I just did everything I could to make sure that they stayed proud. And I think that stuck with me.
Wow. So yeah, that's what I was so interested in to see, like, because again, I know a lot of like a lot of people from your, you know, culture and country, where, you know, they're struggling with that. Like I could see like one of the girls that I know, she was first married to a guy from Kosovo, and then, or was it Albania, and then divorced, and then she was dating other men, but other cultures.
Yeah.
And she always said to me, she's like, there's no way I could take them home. Like, there's no freaking way that I can do that.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I did it too. Like, maybe you need to be a rebel in order for them to change. And now that you're saying, like, you are not a rebel, it's hard for me to understand, like.
So I kind of did it gradually.
Okay.
Like from like a really early age, I'd be like, we'd be watching something on TV and I'm like, Mum, this is so unattractive. I don't know how you can like this guy on TV. And then I think after I moved out, I started to be more vocal. And like I kind of like planted the seed quite early. And I was like, I don't think I could ever be with a Kosovan, because their mentality is, you know, horrific. It's not for me. I've come too far to go back into the 1900s, you know. I live in the UK. I've been given all these opportunities. I don't want to be, oppressed. And that's all I can see. Look at this cousin, look at that cousin. I'm giving examples. I'm planting the seed, And, eventually she was like, don't be so silly. That's crazy. We don't do those things. Just because you're here, you shouldn't be, following trends, because that's all it is. Eventually you'll come back to, dating a Kosovan or an Albanian. And I was like, I'm telling you, listen, I'm telling you.
Ain't happening.
So eventually when I did, bring my previous partner home, she avoided meeting with him for like 4 months, because I was like, Mum, let's all go out for dinner. I want you to meet him. I think he's great. And she had COVID like 3 times in the space of 4 months because she didn't want to meet him. It was so funny. And he was like, he would buy, every time we'd arrange to meet her, he'd buy her massive flowers. And then she'd cancel. We went to her door to pick her up. And she came out in a towel and a robe, and she was like, stay away, I have COVID. And I was like, Mom, come on. And then, funny enough, after the second meet, she fell in love with him. She loved him more than me. And she would be like, don't come over without him.
Same.
I don't want to see you. And they would literally just sit there and play card games and laugh and eat and drink. And she literally was like, I can't believe you met such an amazing man.
Same.
So eventually she was like, okay, I can't be too mad at my daughter for dating outside, because she obviously knows what she's doing. I mean, it didn't work out, but I didn't go for a troublemaker, someone that's going to make my life difficult. He was, a good partner at the time. So I think she was like, okay, maybe she knows what she's doing, and I can't do anything about it. So we'll have to just accept it. And now they're like, we just want you happy. And now they're like, time's ticking, hurry up and be happy quicker.
Well, grandchildren, hello.
Yes. Yeah.
How is that for your family? Not your, parents and, do you have brothers and sisters?
I have 2 brothers. They're twins.
Okay, 2 brothers. What I mean with your aunt, uncle, because I know when I went to, because I have a lot of tattoos and I used to have a lot of piercings. And I would shave my head. I would do a lot of things.
I love that. I wish I had the courage to do that.
I did all of that. And so my family would always say, or some of my mom's friends who are they're wearing hijabs and whatever, they would say to their daughters, don't hang out with Lyda.
Yep.
Because, I don't know, maybe I have a disease that I can make you look like me and be like me. I don't know. But they would always say that. And it's so funny because I knew that their daughters would do everything behind their parents' back.
Much worse.
Yeah. And I would be like, I would do anything in front of my parents. Yeah, you're good. Thank you. So, ooh, that's interesting. Oh, that is so pretty.
That's very cute.
Oh, I love that. Thank you.
Do you have an alcoholic version of that? I mean, it is Wednesday and it's 5 o'clock somewhere. Thank you.
Oh, that is so cute.
Oh, I love that. That's gorgeous.
Thank you.
If you have anything, please let me know.
I will. You're amazing. Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much.
So yeah, they would always say don't hang out with Lyda and whatever. And now, actually, one of my mom's friends came to me one time and she was like, you know what? I'm really sorry for treating you that way. And I was like, look, it's all good because it's just different culture and we all grew up different. And when I went to Iran for the first time with Robin, everyone would see my tattoos and all that. And then when I left 6 months after, everyone would have a tattoo. So I was like,
I
yes,
love that.
exactly.
Trendsetter.
Yes. But how was that for your family?
I think because I always try to color within the lines and not do anything extreme. So I actually got my belly button pierced when I turned 30. And I tried to when I was 15, and my mom was like, I will kick you out of the house if you do it. Don't embarrass me. And I was like, oh no, I don't want to embarrass my mom. So I didn't. And then I also have a huge phobia of needles. So I think it took me that long because of it. But I did it when I was 30 and I was like, look, mom. I literally felt like a child. And she was like, why didn't
That
you
is so
rebel?
cute.
Yeah. She was like, why didn't you rebel when it suited you to rebel in your teen years? I was like, because you said I couldn't and I listened. So that's what I mean. Like, I always try to like keep making them proud without rebelling too much. Like, I would like dye the ends of my hair like blue or pink, and that was like as crazy as I would go. I didn't get any I did actually get one facial piercing. I got my septum pierced.
Oh, me too.
And I thought I looked so cool, but I was so scared of my family seeing it. Like, you could flip it.
Yeah.
So I would flip it. And then one day my mom was like, hey, can you like pluck my eyebrows? I'm like struggling to see. And she's like right beneath me. And she looked right up my nose and she was like, what is that? And I was like, nothing, it's booger. I'm so sorry. But she like lost it. And then gradually she started to see the tattoos, and
Right.
because they were all like quite small and like dainty. She was like, I don't like it, but it's kind of cute. So I think I like rebelled very softly,
Right.
if that makes sense.
Yeah, I would just go on like
Yeah.
full on.
But then like the family, like the extended family, were
yes.
not as accepting. Like, I knew they would like talk, you know, crap about me for having moved out. Like, that was a huge deal. I had like 3 cousins speak to me individually at different times, just being like, this isn't what we do. You must go home. Your mum's getting old. You have to help her cook and clean, and that's your duty. You must do that. And, you know, what are you doing living outside of home? No one's going to want to marry you. And I'm like, yeah, no one from the Albanian community, but someone else will. And, you know, that's not what I want. I don't want your life. Like, you got married at 18, had 3 kids by the age of 22. I don't want that for myself.
Right.
I want to work hard. I want to travel the world. I want to explore. I've got like this travel bug, and I want to see everything. I don't want to be settled with 3 children without any qualifications, without a job, without any, you know,
Right.
future for me. I don't want to just be a mum. I want to be many other things. And they just didn't get it. And they were like, that's crazy. You know, you're embarrassing us.
Wow.
And I was just like, well, then so be it. I'm not embarrassing me, and my parents aren't embarrassed. And that's all that matters.
Did that affect your relationship with your parents because it came from the family? Because I'm sure they would go to their parents as well. And
so initially I wouldn't really feel comfortable talking to my parents about it, because I didn't want to remind them that people were talking. And, you know, in the Albanian community, you
Right.
could be Mother Teresa and you can do all the right things,
They
and
would
someone's still going to have something to say about you. So I didn't want to be a constant reminder to my parents that people are, you know, bringing us down as a family because of my decisions. However, as time went on, I was like, did you hear what this woman said about me? I think it's really funny considering she did.
Mm-hmm.
And I would just be like, throw it back. It's not, you know, I was raised to respect my elders, and I couldn't say one bad thing about them, even if, you know, they were doing some not so
Right.
holy things.
Right.
And I grew a backbone, and I was like, well, why don't you take a look in the mirror before you start pointing fingers at me? Because at least I'm still doing everything very respectfully. I'm still not, you know, embarrassing my family. I'm not hurting anybody, especially not them. Because for me, the main thing that matters is not hurting them.
Right.
And I was very proud of the way that I sort of maneuvered from being, you know, culturally oppressed to the person that I am now.
I love that. That's very, you know, that's very powerful. I feel like, you know, we don't really talk about that, and how, you know, stuff like that can affect us so much, especially when we get older.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we go to you now being in front of the camera on a show, dating show,
Which is wild.
which
for
is
the
like
culture. Yeah.
exactly. Okay, first of all, I know everyone wants to know. Talk to me about the whole, if you're allowed, tell me the whole process on how did you apply for it? Did they reach out to you? And then from there on, what does it take to be on that show?
Oof, I wish I knew that part. So one of my best friends, she sent me an Instagram post, and it was just like casting for Love is Blind UK. And at the time I was in like a really good place. I'd been separated from my previous engagement for about 1.5 years, 2 years at that point nearly. And I was like, you know what? I am ready to get back out there. And I didn't think much of it. And I just went, if you will, I will. Like one of those friendships, like, don't dare me because I will do it. Like, I don't back down. And so we both like sent in, it was quite a long application, but we just kind of filled in like the main required boxes. And within about half an hour, I got a phone call, and it was like a casting person. I literally put in my name, email, Instagram, phone number.
And then they called you right away?
They called me right away.
Wow.
And they were like, hey, this is just a first introductory call. Can you have a conversation for 30 minutes? And I was at work at the time, and I was like, you know what? Yeah, I can do this. So I just had a really nice casual conversation. They obviously ask you about your dating life, where you are now, what do you do for work, just a little bit about, your family, how you grew up. And on the call, they were like, we want to do a video call. Are you free tomorrow or the next day or whenever it was? And I was like, okay, yeah. Like, how quickly are we moving here? Because it was for me, it was like a dare. I was like, I'm just playing a little dare with my friend. I didn't take it seriously at all. And then so she didn't get a call back, but she got into a relationship within like a month of us sending in the applications. And I can confirm she is now married with a 4-month-old baby.
Oh,
so it
congrats.
literally happened immediately. They got engaged after 2 months, pregnant on the 3rd, married after 6, and I was like, that's what I was applying for. That was meant to be my script too. But they are the most amazing couple ever. He is now my best friend also. They're
I love that.
the best. Like, they was just so meant to be. And yeah, it worked out so well for her. But yeah, so for me, then the sort of onboarding process was really long. It took, I think, like 6 months or at least 5 months, just to like, you've got to do all these like mental health checks. You have to
get it a little bit closer.
Sorry.
Yeah.
You have to speak to psychiatrists and make sure that you are not, clinically insane. And
But
that
there's some of them in the show there. I'm like,
I don't know how they passed.
just saying.
But yeah, you have to do, so many background checks and so many forms you've got to fill in. And it was quite grueling. So the whole process was quite long. So from the initial interaction of the first phone call to getting on that flight to, the recording studios, I think it was about 6 months in total. And every phone call, every video call that you do, you're getting obviously one step closer. What I do know is they have to find, I think, at least 2 or 3 matches for you based on your background and what works for you on paper, what you're looking for, matching lifestyles, things like that.
Okay.
Just so to give you the best possibility of finding your person.
You guys, here's my little secret for surviving the heat in Dubai. Thai cocoa, 100% pure organic coconut water from Thailand, packed with electrolytes. It keeps me hydrated enough to spill the coffee on this podcast. Or just when I need a tropical little boost. No sugar, no additives, just clean, refreshing hydration. Big thanks to Thai Cocoa for keeping me fueled and feeling good every single day. So it takes about 5 months, 6 months. You're going through the whole process.
I think it's different for everybody. Because one of the girls that was in the pod section with us, she was told like 3 weeks in advance. And she was like, no, I didn't have time to like buy my outfits and get ready and pack. So I think it's different for everybody.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you have to remember, not everyone can go through with it. Like, they might not pass background checks or mental health checks, or might not be able to get the time off work.
But the mental health check, everyone has to do that.
I believe so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so now you get the call, you're in. Where is it filmed? Okay, so I'm picturing a huge warehouse. Okay.
Right.
And it's all built in that warehouse. You guys don't sleep there, right? You
Yes,
sleep.
correct. We
you
don't
s-
sleep there. We sleep in a hotel nearby,
Okay.
and then it's a studio.
So it is a
So
studio.
it's a
Okay.
studio. So you go and film there every day. But I think we'd kill each other if we lived in a room with 15 other girls who are dating all the same men, you know?
I was asking that question. I was like, damn, how do you guys do this? Did you have a lot? Okay, so okay. Oh my god, I have so many questions. Okay. So now you know, pack your stuff, you go there, the hotel. How nervous were you for the first who was the first date you had, and then what were you feeling when you were in that pot?
So my first date was Demila.
Okay.
He is a sweetheart. He is such a great guy, and we are really good friends now. But it was kind of like he's really quiet, and so like obviously there's a huge wall, and there's like microphones built in. So he was really quiet, and I was like, "Hello," and he's like, "Hello, hi, how are you? What's it?" And I'm like, "Can you speak up? I can't hear anything." And then he'd like, "Yeah, is that better?" Okay, anyway, and just go back down to like really quiet. And I was like, I don't know how we're gonna date if I can't hear you. So there's like loads of like really like funny things that happened obviously during dating. And then I felt like I was quite happy to like question the boys because I'm looking for a husband. I'm not playing games here.
So
Like
that's
I'm
what
questioning
for
you.
sure, like, because sorry for interrupting you, but I was like, did you really go there to find your husband? Or because sometimes I feel like a lot of people go there now because of the exposure that they will get after the show is done. So you really went in there to
Yeah,
find someone.
I kept saying to the producers, is there a possibility in this universe,
Sorry.
where you
Good.
do this experiment without the cameras, and can I do that one instead? Because I very much
Ooh.
like wholeheartedly believed in the experiment, and taking away the looks, and you're obviously not dating in today's society because it's not good. And I was like, it's hard out there, and if you take away the, you know, the looks, the everything else that people can sell themselves on a date, you know, you just connect. And I felt like you speak to each other's souls rather than concentrating on, like, you know, I didn't have to sit there and is my lip gloss, you know, on, is my hair messy? I just laid there and I laughed and I joked, and it was just such an enjoyable process. And I was like,
Right.
if I can fall in love with somebody, or somebody can fall in love with me without seeing me, without judging, you know, my looks or my height or how I laugh, or I couldn't think of a better way to start a relationship.
Wow.
And having been a fan of the show for years and years, you know, there's couples that are still together from season 1 9 years
Right.
ago in the US. And
Has it been 9 years?
yeah, the first Love is Blind came out 9 years ago in
Wow.
America, and now it's worldwide. Now it's like, it's a crazy experiment. I wish everyone could have like a go and just experience
Wow.
what I did, because it was such an incredible experience. And yeah, I went in with all the right intentions to find my partner, and unfortunately I didn't find my partner. But during that process, I believed that I did for a long time.
So you sit in there, you're dating all these different men, but then you also have all this competition with all the other girls.
Yeah, right.
So
Okay.
how was that? Like, did you have some of the girls where you're like, were they kind of mean to you, or because at the end of the
Can
day,
you be mean to this face?
no,
Come on.
no, I don't think so. But still, like, you know, I mean, come on. If someone
Right,
is
you're in
dating your guy,
competition. Yeah.
exactly, it's like, girl, I don't care how sweet you are,
Yeah.
I'm gonna take you down. So did you
Right.
have that, or were you cool with all the girls in there?
So I was literally cool with all the girls. And I know it's like wild to say, because I knew like a lot of them were dating my guy. And so I went in with a thought process that I don't want to share if I make a connection, because you don't know whether you're going to or not.
Right.
And I made a decision not to share who I was getting on with. One, because I didn't want to hear their experience with him, because then it's going to get in my head and make me feel like they're getting on better. I need to up my game.
Right.
So I just went in with, I'm going to solely concentrate on me and my connection. If my connection is strong enough, then it's a win-win.
Right.
But I don't want to be influenced by somebody else's dates with them.
Right.
Because then that will naturally draw some insecurities. So I didn't tell anybody who I was getting on with, who I liked, who my top person was. And in return, a lot of the girls decided not to share with me because they were like, well, if you don't tell me, I won't. And I was like, then that's fine. That's okay. Because I'm just trying to do me. I'm just trying to date as myself without anybody else's influence. And because of that, I was able to like just be friends with the girls because I didn't know a lot of their top partners. And so I'm quite quick at getting ready. I know everyone's like, you're quite fully glammed. And I'm like, this takes me 10 minutes. Like, you know, when you just do the same stuff every day, 10 minutes. So I'd go in ready. And a lot of the girls were like, I don't know how to curl my hair. I don't know how to do my lip liner. So I'd help all the girls get ready.
I love that.
I was like, I'm just getting all you lot all ready to go and date my man, go and enjoy it, go and have fun. So literally I would do all their hair, help with their makeup. And I've got a background in hairdressing. I qualified when I was much younger. So I was like, yeah, I'll blow dry your hair, I'll curl yours, I'll put yours in rollers. Literally all the girls were like, Bardha, can you help me? Can you help me? Because I'd just be ready. And it was like a no pressure thought process for me because I was like, if it's meant to be, it's meant to be.
Right.
So here I am making friends with all the girls, sending them off to date my man. And in the end, I was just like, if he doesn't pick me, then our connection wasn't strong enough and that's not my person. So I made peace with that.
So, and then you dated all these different men, right? And so how long would you be in the studios filming? Like at what morning, like what time in the morning did you arrive? And then what time did you leave?
So I think it was about like 10 to 12 hour days,
Mm.
but they were really like low pressure, like low, and like, it's not like we were running for 10 hours, you know, it was, you hang out in the lounge area. We have like an hour off for lunch where we all just chit chat and get to know each other. And it was just a nice day.
Right.
So it wasn't like hardcore, you're filming. Like the first day was you date everybody. So you've got 15 dates back to back.
Oof, that's
which is
lot.
wild. Yeah. But you've got a notebook, you make notes about like who stood out, what someone said. And then the longer that, you know, as the days move forward, you date less people, but for longer time. So you can really get in depth and you can really get to know others. And the days just fly by because it's an enjoyable process.
Were you able to keep the notebook?
No, I never did. They didn't give it back to us.
Oh, they didn't?
Yeah. So I just remember like writing, like drawing a love heart next to Jed's name every day. And I was like, oh, I had a date with my favorite guy again. But no one else got to see the notebooks other than you and the producers.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow. So then you
probably don't need to see it now, to be fair.
So you're in there and now you're meeting the guy. What was his name again? Sorry.
Jed.
Jed. Yeah. Okay. Yes. So why of all the guys, why him? What did he have what was it with him that you said yes to him?
He had a lovely deep voice. And that's all you can really go off. Like, I mean, obviously the majority of the things that we talked about was so important to me. And that's what, you know, really connected us. He's very family oriented. He's half Lebanese. He was like, I come from two cultures. And I was like, I come from two cultures. And it felt like we just really connected.
Right.
And we spoke about the future. And I feel like you have to align on what you want. Otherwise, you know, if one of, like a few of the guys were like, I don't really want to have kids for another 4 or 5 years. And I was like, I'm going to be like 36, 37. I want to have kids sooner. And then he was like, let's get to it. Let's have kids straight away. And I was like, fantastic. Let's do this. So it was just, we just aligned on so many things.
Right.
And I was just like, I think it's really important that you want to take this relationship at the same speed.
Right.
And he was really sweet. He was really thoughtful. What you don't see a lot of is he sent me flowers in the pods, and he sent me this scrapbook, basically saying we're going to cut out all of our adventures and pictures and put them here, and then we're going to show our kids, you know, how we dated, and once they're born, they're all going to go in this. And it was just really thoughtful stuff. You know, we both wanted to travel. We both wanted to have kids soon. We both wanted to spend time with families. And it just felt like the perfect match.
And then he asked you to marry him. You guys go on vacation. And we saw that. But what was it for you when you came back where you said, you know what? No, you're not. Because you were at the reunion, what I felt was you were very hurt, and you were very like, you know, in a way I felt like you looked at him and was like, how dare you play me?
Yeah.
That's what
I'm
I
glad
got.
that's what came across,
Yeah,
because that's exactly how I felt.
Because you were completely a different person at the reunion.
Yeah.
You were really cool with everyone else, but when it came to you and him speaking, like it was very much like
no bullshit.
Yeah. What happened?
So during the show and during filming, I've chosen this person. I've picked him because I love him and I want to be with him. And for me, that means I protect him at all costs against, you know, any thing that production might be trying to spin. I would always talk to him first and say, this is what's happening. I want you to know I've got your back. This is what I'm doing. Anything else that happened outside of the show, if friends or family, you know, interfered, he was my priority. And I did what I needed to do in every situation to protect him, because that's my man. I need to represent him in the best light, and I'm going to do that for him. And I say that fiercely, because that's how much I was in love. And at the reunion, he wasn't my man anymore, and he hurt me.
How?
He was a different person when the cameras stopped rolling. And not only did he show me a different side to him that was confusing and heartbreaking, he also just let me go. He just let me go. He didn't fight for us. He didn't believe in us. And it made me feel that he never believed in us. Okay. You know, I feel like when you love so fiercely and so hard, you fight. You fight for the person that you love. You fight for the person you spoke about a future with, children with, and introduce to your family, especially in this culture. You don't just bring anyone home. And I took a huge risk. And what was hurtful was that I felt, because of the outcome, it was an embarrassment to my family. And it was embarrassing for me that I picked the wrong person. I didn't know it at the time. But a year on, you've not reached out. The reason I said no is because of you. It's not because of me. You've not reached out to try and fix it. You've not reached out to apologize. And there were many things he owed me an apology for. And, you know, he just sat there like a little sorry puppy dog, and I couldn't respect it. So as a woman who has moved on 100%, like my emotions have moved on, I'm not there anymore. I felt wrong done because I had given so much and received so little.
Did he do something specifically where you were hurt, or were there many things added up?
Many little things that kind of added up to me leaving in the end. And I left after breaking up with him and realizing after the filming had finished, we tried to date for about 3 weeks, and he was just repeating the same patterns. And I was like, this person isn't going to change. And I made a decision to leave, and I was in Dubai 3 days later.
Wow.
Because I'm a decisive person. I know what I want, and I equally know what I don't want, and I didn't want that. So my decision was final. But had he turned around and fought for me or tried to fix, you know, what happened at the end, I was that in love that I would have potentially given that a go. But he didn't.
So when you came back from vacation, right? How you have like what, 3 weeks, 2 weeks until the wedding?
Weeks, yeah.
3 weeks. So in these 3 weeks is when he treated you unfairly?
No, not at all. He was amazing during those 3 weeks. It was literally just before the wedding.
Oh.
It was 24 hours before the wedding when I saw a different side, and I was like, hold on a minute.
Tell me that side. What was it? Like, what did he do where you were like, no? Like, what? There must be something specific.
Just the demeanor of a person, like when they shapeshift in front of your eyes. Like it was frightening to see, because I was like, that's not the loving, caring, playful, jokey man that I've spent the last 6 weeks with. Who the fuck are you?
Damn.
So that was the only reason why I ended up saying my no at the altar. It wasn't because I didn't love him, because you could see how difficult that no was. It was because I was like, hold on a minute, I've just been shocked. So I need to step back and see what's really right for me.
Wow.
And in that moment, I was like, I can't commit. I have to be married to this person, and I need to look after me. Again, that survival instinct kicking in. And yeah,
especially when someone with your culture and where you're coming from, it's like, when I say yes, it's a freaking yes. Like, there's no going back.
Yeah.
Did you know when you woke up in the morning that day on your wedding day, did you already knew that you're gonna say no? Or
no?
When was the moment when you said, I can't? What was going through your head in that moment?
The minute that I was asked at the altar, it was kind of like it could have gone either way. Like there was literally like a debate going on in my head, and it was like, but you love him, but you don't know him enough, but you love him, and he's going to give you a family, and that's what you want. And then it was like, but hold on, how well do you know him? Do you want a family with this man? And it was just a fight. And in the end, common sense walked in the room, and I said no.
Damn.
Yeah. Which was awful. It was so heartbreaking, because I very clearly didn't want to make that decision. I didn't want to say no. And I'm grateful that I did. I'm very grateful that I said no. But it was probably one of the hardest decisions I've ever had to make.
Damn. And now, looking back, are you happy? Well, first of all, what did your family say and your friends?
Everyone was really, really supportive in terms of, this is quite fast. We respect your decision. You know what's best. Like, you've got a good head on your shoulders. We know you've made your decision based on good reasons and not just for the sake of it.
Right.
But they all saw how much I loved him. They all saw how in love I was and how much I wanted it. So being in like that turmoil of making that awful decision, I think they didn't want me to feel any worse. So they just sat with me. They just held me whilst I broke down. And, and even when we tried to make it work after, they were still supportive. We went to my parents' house with Jed. We celebrated my niece's 10th birthday with him. And they could see how much I wanted it to work. But it can't work if only one person is making the effort.
What about your parents when they met him the first time? Like, did they have a good feeling about him, or did they feel something was up?
They liked him. Like, they didn't have enough time to get to know him, as well as like my previous partner, obviously.
Right.
But yeah, they had a good feeling. They were like, he seems like he's going to be a really good dad, because my niece was around as well, and he would like play with her. And yeah, they were happy for me, and they were just like, look, you know what's best, and we just support you. Now hurry up and go and make us some grandkids, So they were just so loving. I can't like fault my parents. That's the only thing that's hurtful, having to watch it back, that they also had that hope for me.
Yeah.
And then it got taken away.
So now, when the show aired and everyone, your family, your friends, and everyone saw the show, and, like, there was a lot of, like, you still have a lot of, like, press tour going on. You still have to, you're very much in the public, especially in the UK.
And here, apparently.
And here. Yeah, people love you here. Seriously.
I've met a lot of people here, which has been quite surprising, but in the nicest way. Like, everyone's been like, I recognize you. Can I say hello? I'm like, of course, come here and hug me.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, it's been really nice. A really good reception.
So when it came out, like, what did your parents, did they watch the whole show?
So they've only seen like snippets of it, just because they were actually traveling. Well, they were in Kosovo and Albania during the time of it all coming out, and they don't know how to use Netflix. Bless them.
So cute.
But I like would record parts that obviously of me with them in it and send it to them. And like my dad, bless him, he'll be like, he created a TikTok account so he could like follow me, and he forgets that he's following me. So he'll like show me my own post and be like, look, they've posted you again. And I'm like, no, Dad, it's me. I've posted me. And it is the most adorable thing. It's so cute. And like my mum would tell me, like, when they were back home, he'd like get it up on his phone and be like, see, that's my daughter. It's my daughter. And he was just so proud. And it was the cutest thing. And same like with my mum and like, you know, the family, the extended family we were talking about earlier. There was a little bit of backlash from them. Oh, what's she doing? You know, she's going on TV. And I was like, Mum, just screw them.
Just
screw
jealousy.
them. Like, just don't even like bother. And she was like, no, don't be silly. I'd never let anybody, you know, make me feel a type of way. I'm really proud of you. You did really well. And they're just the
That's all
best.
that
I'm
matters.
so lucky. I'm so, so lucky.
It's all that matters. I know I saw them and I was like, oh my God, they're so cute. Like, they're so freaking cute.
They're adorable.
So how are you? Are you still talking to him or no? Are you?
No, we had a conversation after one of the rap parties in the UK, and we briefly spoke, shared a few texts where I said, you know, I was still quite angry at his lack of accountability. So I got a half-hearted text apology, and then that was it. Okay. So we haven't like communicated since then.
I mean, of course, everyone wants to talk to you about, you know, Love is Blind, because that's where we know you from. But I want to talk about you, okay?
Yay.
What made you, yay! What made you decide to move to Dubai?
The weather.
Okay.
First and foremost, it's absolutely miserable in London. It's so miserable. It's constantly raining. It is constantly cold. And I'm such a summer girl. Like, I need to be in the sun.
Right.
I'd rather be in a dress than a puffer jacket, you know? And I actually had planned to move out here before going on the show. I had a leaving party with all my friends and family. And because I couldn't tell anybody that was going on the show. So I was like, well, I'm off to Dubai. My phone will be off for a little bit. And then, yeah, I like disappeared and went on the show. And you don't know, obviously, how far you're going to get. So I kind of packed for the show, but I also packed to come straight here.
Right.
And then I ended up going further on the show than I thought I would. And obviously not much long after that, I came straight here because I was like, what am I going to waste time for in the UK? So I came here, and I have a friend that lives here. She was actually one of my bridesmaids on the show, and I stayed with her for a couple of weeks, and it was just incredible to be here. I feel like this is where I healed.
Oh.
This is where like I felt normal again. You couldn't even talk about the show anyway for a year until it came out, but it gave me an opportunity to meet new people, to, you know, work different jobs, to create my own circle. And I'm so grateful that I did all of that on my own, and now I can't imagine leaving.
Right.
Like, the food here is insane. The culture, everyone's so welcoming. I'm so happy here. I feel like I've never thrived so much.
I feel the same.
Yeah?
Yeah, I feel the same.
How long have you been here?
It's been a little bit over 2 years. I mean, I felt that when I would say 5-6 years in Dubai, in LA, or 8 years. And then it became like very much like, you know, whatever. But then when I moved to Dubai, I was like, there's all these like opportunities and all of this amazing things. And yeah, the people, I love the people.
Yeah.
I just love them. And just the culture is beautiful. So now you've done the show. I want to know from you now. Look, it was a huge opportunity. It gave you a huge platform, right? Mm-hmm. How are you now using that for yourself? Like, how are you going to leverage that show for
Yeah.
your name, business, like how, because this podcast, why I'm doing this as well is not just to, meet interesting people like you, but like you're a go-getter
Yeah.
because you made the decision. First of all, you went on a show, then you decided you're going to move to Dubai, knowing one person,
Yeah.
creating a circle and everything else. You are a go-getter. So what is next for you, and how are you leveraging all the fame that you got?
It's so hard to like acknowledge that because it doesn't feel like fame or anything like that. It just feels like, oh, someone's recognized me, and then it's fine, and then you forget about it. I want to use my platform to help women. I feel like that, having done the show and seeing how everything panned out for me, I want to do better myself. I want to help other women realize their worth. I want to help them achieve greatness. And since coming out, I've received so many messages, particularly from the Kosovan and Albanian community, women, who they want to date outside of the culture, but they don't feel that they can. And a lot of them have, reached out to me to say, what did you do? How did you get your parents to agree? And like I said, I did it in a really soft manner. And I want to help other women not tolerate bullshit from men. And I feel like by me walking away, I didn't tolerate bullshit.
Right.
And as hard as it was the best decision for me. And I would love to use my platform to work with other, supporting companies for women and just help them achieve greatness, because we're all capable of achieving greatness, and help each other up. I feel like I've also received a lot of hate from women, which has been,
why?
It's just been like, unfortunately, a lot of people just take at face value what they see, for an episode or 2 episodes or 3. And a lot of them have been like, how could you lose such a great man? And I just want to reassure everybody, if he was a great man, I wouldn't have lost him,
Oof, that part.
But I made a decision that was right for me. Sorry I didn't make the decision for you, Maria from San Francisco in America somewhere that doesn't know me. That might have been your dream man, but it wasn't mine. And it's been really disheartening to see women sort of tear me down for doing what was right for me. And I just think we should all be kinder to each other. And I think we should respect the decisions that are being made, because I didn't make it lightly.
Right.
I didn't get to where I am, even in my career previous to the show. I didn't get there, easily. I worked my way up. And yeah, I really want to get involved in empowering women.
I mean, I think you should leverage all the, the show and the fame and everything that you got now, because, like you said, like, it's a part of your life. You know who you are. You said no to him. A lot of women, like you said, don't know how to say no and to walk away, because we are so trained to be in a comfortable situation, because anything outside comfort is scary.
Yeah.
And I love that you're about to like change that, especially in your own culture, country that you're from. So don't you think it would have been better for you to stay in England a little bit longer and do press and all of that? Like, wouldn't that help you, reach a bigger audience and do more interviews and all of that? Or you're like, you know what, I don't care, like that's not why I did it, that's not important to me?
The way I see it is, this is my home now. So for me, it matters more what I'm achieving here than there.
Right.
And like, granted, more fame, more eyes and ears and following, yes, could equal to more great things, for sure. I didn't do it for any of that. I did it to find a husband. And although I didn't achieve that, I'm not now going to be selling myself short because of a few extra followers. That doesn't affect me at all. So whatever I achieve, I want it to be where I am. And I think that's a really powerful tool, because as a woman, if I then decide to move to a different country. I want that support to follow me wherever I go. It shouldn't be based on what country I live in.
Right.
You know, and a lot of the support has been from Albanian women and Kosovan women that live back there. And that's, for me, that's really touching. And I'm glad that I was able to have a little bit of an effect, you know? And it doesn't matter where I am in the world, because I don't intend on being in one place for too long.
Right.
I'd love to keep traveling and potentially live somewhere else. I'm not ready to let go of Dubai, but in the
But you never know.
future, in the future I might move. And I think you should be able to make your own rules with that. And if people like what I have to say and want to, you know, get on board with this journey, then I welcome it. But that's not the following and the press and the limelight isn't what I'm here for.
Could you see yourself being in the dating industry, like becoming like a dating coach or something like that? Like, could you see yourself being in that?
I would love to actually do something like that. But I think I'm quite strict. I'd be like a no bullshit type of like coach, or probably not coach. I think I'd love to do something like matchmaking.
Right.
Because I'd be like, no, I'm not letting you string my girls along. You better know what you want and you better treat them right. Something like that would be really fun. I'd love to like do something like that.
Okay, I need to know this, and I think everyone else wants to know this. Is love, like, what is love? Can we say that? Is love actually exactly? Is love actually blind?
I'm gonna say yes, because I fell in love with somebody without having seen them, and regardless of whether it worked or not, my feelings were real. I definitely felt love.
Oh. Okay, you guys. Do you have? Huh? I'm going to the show next. You're going to the show next? My producer's like, I'm going to go to the show next.
I feel like there's certain questions I wish I'd asked beforehand, like dating in the pods,
like
which
what?
I never did. Like some of the other girls would say, like, this is what we would ask the boys. And I'm like, damn, I didn't think of that. What's your like dating style? Like, are you a planner, or do you just like go with the flow? Because if you go with the flow, we're not going anywhere. How many times do you change your bed sheets? I think that's really important to ask men. How many showers do you take before you wash your towel? Because that's a thing, you know. And being on holiday with people in the living quarters, you learn a lot. You learn a lot. So I think those are really important questions.
These are good questions.
Yeah. Also, why did your last relationship break down? And it's not, oh, things just didn't work. What did you do to avoid that?
Right.
I think that's important.
Damn. Oh, you want to know? Oh, yes. Robin wants to know. What was the question that you wanted to?
Oh my God, I thought I was going to like throw up and poop at the same time. Like it was.
That's right.
Yeah. Sorry.
So when it opened.
Yeah.
Okay, so Robin wants to know what was going through your whole body before the doors opened and you saw him.
I felt quite sick, like to my stomach, because like you have no clue, like none. You don't know what color hair they have, eyes, what build. I felt quite certain that he was going to be taller than me because I'm so small. It's hard to find somebody as small as me. So I was like, either way, they're going to be taller than me, and that's fine. I'm not like, oh, you've got to be 6 foot. I don't mind.
Right.
So I genuinely felt sick. And then I was like, obviously you get in your own head as well. Like, do I look good enough? You know, you have real feelings. And then to think the doors will open and you may be rejected is a wild thought, because you just don't know.
Right.
And then I was like, I don't know how I feel. I don't know if I like him. I don't know if I don't. And then as soon as we like hugged, everything was okay. It just felt natural. It felt like home. Sorry.
Sorry, guys. One of the mics gave up. Okay, I just want to say thank you so much for being here. You are such a sunshine. Like, you have no idea. Like, you're such a beautiful person inside and out. When I met you the first time last week at our breast cancer awareness, and just sitting here with you, and I don't know, I just feel like I've known you my whole life. And it's such a beautiful, you're such a beautiful person. Can you tell the camera where they can find you? What's your Instagram and all of that? Great.
I hate talking to the camera.
I know. I'm gonna learn this now.
You can find me on Instagram at Prads, PRADDZ, or TikTok, PradsDXB. Thank you so much for having me. You're absolutely amazing. I'm so glad I got to meet you. And yeah, I'm looking forward to what our future holds. But first and foremost, to have you as a friend.
Same. Oh, that was so cute, you guys. Okay, so I just want to say, first of all, I want to say thank you to Mokha for hosting us today. One of my favorite places to be. Not just because they have amazing drinks and coffees, is the people behind Mokha, Garfield, Gabriella, Sigrid. You guys know how much I freaking love you guys. But I also want to say thank you to Thai Coco for sponsoring the episode today. You guys are incredible. Oh yeah, so just so you know, Mokha is located here in Palm Jumeirah. And yes, oh, by the way, they have something for you. They're so cute. I love them so much. Just something sweet.
To me?
Yes, for you.
So cute. Oh my God, thank you.
That is so, I love
Should
that.
I open it now?
Yeah,
It's so
yeah,
pretty.
yeah.
The bow is so cute. Aww. Oh, how nice. Oh, I needed my own takeaway cup. Thank you, thank you. I guess I'll be drinking coffee from now on.
Oh my God, that's right.
Yay.
You can just give it to. I forgot that she doesn't drink them, but it's fine.
I literally said this morning to one of my friends, because I've been like super tired recently, I was like, maybe I should give it another go. So I'm very open to giving coffee another go.
Listen, I will get you there.
Oh, thank you.
You did amazing.
Thank you guys so much. You guys are so sweet.
Seriously.
I got it. Oh, thank you.
Can you, Robin, can you tell them to come up, because we want some cake.
Oh.